So ours is to say, what fresh ideas can we bring to the table? Like I said, again, before, we have been faced with very interesting proposals already. What they started, for example, was an involvement of Busoga Kingdom with the Chabazenga Sevens in partnership with Walukuba. A couple of traditional institutions feel like we need to be a part of that party. So how do we balance that and bring that to the fore? You can be sure there will be a little bit more of that. We are finalizing how that is approached. How do we approach the bidding for these tournaments? And that will also be, yes, technically, the bids have been very technical. We've had a look at some of those. I participated in, bidding for some of those circuits before. There will be also very commercially viable. So it's also about, one of the other things that we are thinking is, when the fans arrive in this town, how are they getting to experience that town? What is it? What is that extra thing in terms of what are you going to do to promote this? What are we going to do to ensure that our memory lives in this place when we leave it, this Sunday and all of those kinds of things. So there will be firsts. There will be firsts. There might not be so many, but if at all we score 2 or 3, that will be an improvement to the game, and we can keep pushing that.
I am privileged that I have the two of you. One, you're the chief of Sevens, and you're the one that informs us, the media, and the rest of the world when things are going to happen. You speak of firsts. The interesting question that everyone would like to have an answer to is, when is the first circuit going to be played?
We've not informed him, so if he says he thinks. But
it's still, he mentioned that the new committees has been in position for.
You can give us a few hints.
Yes, and on our calendar we had indicated June to start the circuits, but as you can imagine,
it's 13th already. So.
Yes, so it's not happening as of now, and as a country we are obviously preparing for the Rugby Africa Cup 2025, and we want to put all our energy towards that tournament to make sure that it's worth it. And
so June and July aside.
Yes. So we are looking at August to compensate with that, because obviously later on in the year we still have the Uganda Cup. So we are looking at August and going forward. But obviously he'll inform me when exactly the clock.
Desire early August, mid-August, late August.
Early
August.
But those, again, these are drafts that we have, but we are thinking around as early as possible in August to kick that journey off, and with also the unique ideas that we need to lock in for those. Yeah.
Right, thank you, gentlemen. I do not apologize for pushing you against
where is going to be the first circuit.
No, but as that gets to happen again, yes, we are running with the national sevens as the top flight and all of that, but we also do have an eye as far as the regionals are concerned. Which regionals now have a date. There was consideration for Impis, who've just finished their season, their 15th season, for an extra week break and all of that. So next weekend, the 21st of June, you will have seen on the Central Uganda Rugby Association platforms, they will be having their first circuit in Busambaga. And then, of course, I think they are locking down the second venue where they'll have the second one as well. So 2 weekends, 21st and 28th, the regionals are on, and the fixtures are also out. So you will be having a look at those shortly, and if you've not already seen them, and that should also be very exciting rugby coming our way, because there are quite some competitive sides in there as well.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. That was about it for the National 7 Series. I would like us to run through a few news updates before we go for our first break. The first, of course, is, and this is of good interest and high interest to us, the rugby fans. The Uganda Lady Rugby Cranes won their first match in the 2025 Women's Rugby Africa Cup, beating Madagascar by 24 points to 20. What a game that was, bouncing back from 62-7 loss to Madagascar, to South Africa at the start. Shafiq, what was happening at the HQ and celebrations for Uganda?
Obviously, you have to feel proud for them because of the journey that they've had since the start of the year. Some of these guys were on the the World Challenger circuit. Eventually they had to be pulled out. A decision that wasn't received so well, but if you look at the kind of performance they've had,
it has paid off for sure.
From Ivory Coast to here, it's a decision that has paid off so well. Also given the fact that the ladies team was not active for 3 years. to come back and have such performances, I think it's quite commendable. It tells so much about the kind of journey that the women's game has had recently.
The tournament will conclude on Sunday, that is June 15th, with Uganda facing our neighbors Kenya at 1 p.m. East African time. That match will be broadcast on Rugby Pass for the fans to watch, so please look in your calendars. But when we look at their male counterparts, lots of good results already registered for the women. They've played 6 tests, they've played 5 test matches so far this year. We're looking at even more. That's a good result, that's a good turn of investment for the Uganda Rugby Cranes, no?
Yeah, indeed, and I think I'm also happy to let the nation know that now the ladies are moving into having contracts as well. So that's another benefit that they get to enjoy at playing at this level. And if I interacted with them before they went to Madagascar, and what was on their mind, even those that remained behind, I mean the Peace crews who are injured and couldn't make the trip, is that guys, just go there, make sure we maintain this status, because this gives us an opportunity at least to play regularly, regular rugby with the best teams in Africa, and so that's only a plus for us, and that's a plus for young players like Tiko Latifa, who are coming through and making their debuts.
The Uganda Rugby Cranes will play a test match against Namibia on Saturday. That will be at 3 p.m. ET, and that is as they begin their preparations officially with some competitive rugby ahead of the Rugby Africa Cup. I just would love to know, do you know when and where we can watch that game?
We are finalizing with the Namibia Rugby Union to see how they can give us a stream. They've already indicated to us that they have plans to do that. I would want to bite a little bit more into that, but I don't want to get people so excited. Obviously, if the plans are confirmed and finalized, we'll see how obviously we can link. We can again, Desire is my boss on so many fronts, because he's also leading the ILOC, the local organizing committee in terms of media for the Rugby Africa Cup, and the Cranes obviously is something that we are selling so much. So tomorrow we might have a watch party at Chadondo, but again, that is after we've confirmed. We've had initial discussions with Namibia, and they will be letting us know more about that, and we shall obviously communicate it. 24
players went to Namibia. They will be playing, that 23 of those will be playing the game against Namibia tomorrow. Team news, anything yet? Yes or no?
Yeah, they reached, I'm confusing the dates, Tuesday. They touched down, wait, was it Tuesday?
They left on Wednesday.
They left on Wednesday, arrived on Thursday.
Yes.
Today morning they had a blowout session, and then in the afternoon they'll have their captain's run. No injuries have been reported yet in camp, and waiting for the team managers to send through the final 23 that have been selected.
Tell the truth, Shafiq.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of clips. Obviously, the guys doing their runs, the scrums, scrummaging here and practicing all that. But again, I'm not the coach. I don't make the selection.